So 6.7, we're getting into financial models, working with compounding interest. So basically, the first one we want to talk about is if I want to know the final amount of an investment, that's what A is going to stand for, is the final amount. P stands for principal or present value of an investment. So if I use this formula, some other things we didn't know is the interest rate. So R is like the annual interest rate. N is going to be the number of times compounded in a year. And then T is going to be the number of years that go by. So when it comes to N could be like quarterly, which means N could be 4. Since there's dividing the year into 4 equal pieces quarterly. Monthly basically just means you're compounding each month, which would be 12. Daily is 365. Since there's 365 days in a year. Semi-annually means twice a year, and annually would mean once a year. So if we use this formula, what I can do is determine a future value based on the present value, the interest rate, the number of times the interest is being compounded, and how many years that goes by. So when it comes to money, understanding compounding interest is really, really important. Also, understanding how an interest rate affects how much you pay back. So they all kind of work together as we move forward in all this. So this kind of gets you an introduction into thinking about investing and buying things. Those are the main two things: is borrowing money and investing money, and how much can I make off my investment, or how much I have to pay back in interest. So the first question basically says, find the amount that results from a given investment. So you have $300, you invested at 11%, it's compounded quarterly, and the period is going to be 4 years. So after 4 years, the investment results in. So if I use the formula, what I'm looking for is the final investment, which is going to be A. So A is going to equal then, I need to know the initial investment was the 300. So P is going to be the 300. That's the present value or the initial investment. So that 300 goes in to our formula there. And then in parentheses, we have this 1 plus R is our annual interest rate. So 11% is going to be our R, but it's got to be expressed as a decimal. So 11% is the same thing as 11 over 100. If I move the decimal 2 places to the left, that becomes then 0.11. So 0.11 becomes our rate of interest as a decimal. N, since it says quarterly, quarterly means our money is going to be compounded 4 times each year. So quarterly kind of means that if we think of every 4 months, so like January, February, March, April, if I determine my balance in April, the next time I determine my balance, I'm going to be using the April balance as opposed to the January balance. So if you go June, July, August, September, in September, if you determine your balance, what's happening is you're determining that balance from the April balance. And then once you have your September balance, your next balance is going to be calculated using the September balance. So by compounding quarterly, what it can do is actually add a little bit more into your investment. So N is going to be 4. And then we have NT. So that means 4 times the time period, which is 4 years. So N was 4. And T is also 4. So 4 times 4 would actually be 16. So if I put this in the calculator, I have 300, and then in parentheses, I have 1 plus then this 0.11 divided by 4, close parenthesis. And if I raise that to the 16th power, so notice here there's this exponential growth kind of concept going on here. We end up with then $463 and about 5 cents if I round it to the nearest penny. So it says round to the nearest cent. So we would see that we have our new balance is going to be $463.05. So notice the dollar sign's already there, so we don't have to put that in there. So notice that our investment made $63.05, actually $163.05 over a 4-year period. So keep that in mind. If you invested more than $300, you could be making a little bit more money as well. Especially, a lot of people consider 12% a very good interest rate, and 11% is knocking right there on the door of that. So, but a lot of people aren't looking for 12% anymore. People these days invest a lot more aggressively, looking for their profits to grow almost immediately, as opposed to waiting years. They're looking for that quick jump in investment.